Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. You've probably seen this, and this, and this. But how does it happen? Have you ever wondered, how do some doll collectors find these dolls so early? Are companies secretly leaking their own products? In today's video, we'll be breaking down everything you need to know, from the scandalous truth about how dolls mysteriously find their way onto the internet to the various websites you'll need to learn more of, whether you collect Monster High, Rainbow High, or something else. Before we get started, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, turn on notifications, and hit subscribe so you never miss the tea on the toys you love. Now, let's dive in. Okay, beasties, you'll never believe it, but many employees of these companies don't even know how or when their own products get leaked. PR reps for major companies can be swapped out every few months, and they're never taught about websites like Taobao or the millions of forums, Facebook groups, and subreddits concerning doll leaks. And if you just so happen to be out of the loop, I'll break it down for you. There's also many implications fans may not understand of how leaks affect the companies, so we'll be exploring that too. Typically, dolls leak on websites under the Alibaba group. If you've never heard of it, Alibaba is one of the world's largest online and mobile commerce companies as of 2021. And according to Seeking Alpha, it's a much larger scale than Amazon. See, unlike Amazon, Alibaba is sort of a network of multiple sites, and they're far more complex than US shopping sites like eBay. First up, Aliexpress. You've probably been told to steer clear of Aliexpress. Some may say Aliexpress is a complete scam and you're sure to lose your money. Others may say Aliexpress is a gold mine and there's so much to be purchased. I wish things could be that simple, but they're simply not. Unfortunately, yes, Aliexpress has a history of being the websiteification of when you buy it online versus when it arrives. But with a keen eye and understanding of the platform, you don't have to fear that your LOL surprise OMG is going to arrive as an LQL surprise QMC. For many doll collectors, Aliexpress can be an excellent way of sourcing older dolls and pieces you need to complete your collection. For example, my bestie Dominatrix was able to find various discounted Bradzillas new in box on the website for a fairly close to retail cost. If you're missing a specific pair of Monster High shoes, there's thousands of listings to browse. And if you enjoy customizing dolls, you can buy heads in bulk for cheaper costs. Aliexpress is the only website we'll be talking about today that's actually easily accessible from the USA, because Taobao and Sun Yu require a little bit more finesse to access, which I'll explain in a moment. But there's complexity to Aliexpress. The website has been the frequent source for Rainbow High leaks, like these purchasable listings for Rainbow Junior High, and that can be a cause of concern when you're an employee at MGA Entertainment. You see, most toy products are under what's called an embargo, not necessarily a governmental embargo like the ones that prevent certain goods from entering a country. It's more like MGA has plans to launch a product on a specific date so that it makes a big splash, like how LOL Surprise normally has a major launch on 7/07 because the numbers resemble LOL. When products are leaked prior to their embargo, they can lead to negative reviews and press surrounding a product, and especially in the case of doll leaks, because when looking at these Rainbow High leaks, it's pretty clear that while this is a close representation of what the final product will look like, it isn't a completely accurate reflection of what the brand had in mind when creating the doll. Sometimes, what we're seeing are what's known as factory samples, which are mock-up versions of a doll sent to the company for approval to make sure the factory is going in the right direction, or that the final product is on track and ready for finalizing. Take a look at this Monster High factory sample. It looks like random pieces and trashed out fabrics glued together to create a monstrous mess. And to the untrained eye, it is. But to the designer and creative team behind it, they see the completed look. So when leaks like this, which poorly represent the end result, are the only public representation, it's basically like commenting on a makeup tutorial when the makeup is only halfway done. Though I'd like to circle back and say that there's nuance, because the Monster High sample is an extreme example, but the Rainbow High leaks reign fairly close to what we might expect their end product to be. I'd also like to clarify that not everything that leaks is necessarily a sample or prototype. It could be a finalized product, and that comes more with familiarizing yourself on a brand's products and being able to decipher when it's a finished product versus an unfinished one. Alternatively, leaks affect a brand because of the legal team. If you've been in the doll community long enough, you've probably seen fans make jokes using the names of legal representatives for the companies after one of their post gets taken down for copyright infringement. This is a tedious portion of legal work, ensuring all the ducks are in order and that a company's IP isn't infringed. While the water is fairly murky for me regarding this portion of the leak implications, I'd imagine that leaks affect agreements with retailers as well. I'm really not too sure, but as a fan, I can't help but speculate until answers arise. And naturally, the most obvious is that leaks affect a brand and its competitors. If a product is going to be a big-time competitor for another company, like let's say Barbie Barbie and Dreamella, it can cause chaos when things get out before they're meant to. You may be wondering, if doll collectors can find leaks so easily, why don't companies have sellers removed from websites like Aliexpress or Taobao? And I really couldn't tell you, but if anyone else knows, feel free to sound off in the comments. Now, how do leaks happen? Well, there's many reasons, but one instance is factory rejects. In the example of my Band-Aid Jade, which was acquired from Taobao, there are markings on her head that reveal that she is a factory reject, seeing as the final product for Jade no longer has a Band-Aid over her nose. Somebody who may have worked at the factory took the rejected samples and sold them on Taobao. Taobao, which literally translates to hunting for treasures, is the second shop we'll be talking about under the Alibaba group. Now, Taobao requires much more loopholes to search on. Unlike Aliexpress, which is available globally, Taobao typically only ships within China. Taobao is basically China's version of eBay without auctions. For years, dolls have leaked on Taobao, from Monster High to Bratz. You can find way more listings in other countries that are hidden from the USA, and this requires a VPN, which is why I present to you today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark is an easy-to-use, easy-to-download VPN service that keeps your online identity safe, protecting your personal data from big companies and cyber criminals. And additionally, in the case we'll be describing, using it to swap the real location of your device with another one so that you can access websites only available for certain countries. Surfshark offers 65 different countries, and lucky for us, they offer several different countries in Asia, which is how you can find hidden listings on sites to find more dolls. For example, setting the location as Hong Kong. You'll notice that once the VPN is set up, even Google switches, as though I'm located in China. Search results are entirely different for different countries, making doll collecting so much more interesting. I found various Monster High bags and products in countries like Brazil that never come up when I Google them from the USA. Plus, as I've mentioned, Surfshark keeps your online data secure. A VPN encrypts your online data to keep your personal data from getting hacked. This is especially necessary when logging into public Wi-Fi, like when you're on a doll hunt at Target. You can download Surfshark VPN using the link in the description and enter promo code Claudina for 83% off and 3 extra months for free. So let's say someone looking for doll leaks downloaded Surfshark and is searching on Taobao. It now takes patience and a little finesse, but this is how people have found prototypes and leaks on websites like Taobao. Maybe you've heard of people using Taobao, but you're unsure of how people make purchases. This is where people use what's called an agent. Taobao agents are companies in China that help buyers located outside of China ship from the seller to their warehouse in China to you. Since most sellers on Taobao won't ship directly to the USA or other countries, some of the most popularly used websites for doll collectors are WeGoBuy and YoiBuy. But there is one other app on the rise. It's new, it's fairly unheard of, but it's doll the rage. Zunyu is a sister app to Taobao. It's basically Facebook Marketplace of sorts. Here's where new LOL Surprise OMG leaks have been found. Rainbow High leaks, old Mycene heads, and hundreds of dolls to browse. Zunyu seems to be something similar to a social media platform. One user even shared clips from my video on their seller site, which I thought was pretty cool. They basically relayed all the information I shared onto the site. You can check that video out in the description below. In the years of 2020 and 2021, leaks often derived from Bilibili, a Chinese video sharing website in which one user was known for leaking LOL Surprise OMG dolls prior to their release date. Now let's circle back to the how. Many fans speculate that companies are sneakily leaking their own products. Some fans suggest that designers are being hacked. The ending may be somewhat anticlimactic, and while I know you'd love to hear that Mattel is secretly sending spies into MJ's headquarters to snap pics and post them on Twitter, this isn't often the case. The statistic proof? Fans with enough time on their hands to browse these websites for hours. While maybe at times things leak for other reasons, the way it typically happens is someone in China randomly has an unreleased doll. Maybe they don't know it's unreleased. They list it for sale on Taobao or Aliexpress. A dedicated fan who spent 3+ hours scrolling through Taobao trying the various variants of spelling finally stumbles upon something new, and bam, it leaks. Things are getting more advanced now within the doll community. There's tons of new members of the niche world of dolls, and it's revolutionizing collecting. Fans are starting to connect more with the sellers in China, giving them a gateway to access this type of information first. Before we wrap up, I want to give a huge thank you to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today's video, and don't forget to click the link in the description to download Surfshark VPN and enter the promo code Claudina for 83% off and an extra 3 months free.